What if I told you a father once turned his own son into a doll? Not a metaphor, not a storybook fantasy, but a real case that shocked an entire American town. And what's even more disturbing? Some people believe he did it to save him. Stay with me, because this story isn't just about madness, it's about obsession, control, and a father who refused to let go. In 1998, in a quiet suburb outside Chicago, neighbors described Daniel Harper as quiet, creative, and a devoted single father. But behind the closed curtains of his small blue house, something was terribly wrong, and no one noticed until his son disappeared. Daniel Harper was a skilled craftsman. He specialized in restoring antique porcelain dolls. He had a workshop in his basement, shelves lined with lifeless faces, glass eyes staring perfectly still. His 8-year-old son Noah was all he had after his wife died in a car accident 3 years earlier. Neighbors said Daniel changed after that. He became distant, paranoid. He once told a neighbor, "The world takes everything from you unless you protect it." At first, people thought he was just grieving, until Noah stopped going to school. Daniel told the school district he was homeschooling, but no one ever saw Noah outside again. Months passed. One evening, a neighbor reported hearing something strange, a child's voice, arguing, then silence. Police did a welfare check. Daniel answered the door calmly. He said Noah was resting. The house was spotless, too spotless. But when officers asked to see the child, Daniel hesitated just for a second. That hesitation changed everything. They searched the house. Upstairs, nothing. Kitchen, nothing. But when they opened the basement door, they found shelves, dozens of dolls, all restored, all polished, and in the center of the room sat one doll in a small wooden chair. It looked different. It had real human hair, wearing Noah's favorite blue sweater, and its eyes were custom made to match his son's exact eye color. Daniel whispered something that even the officers stepped back. "He's safe now. He'll never leave me." Now here's where the story becomes disturbing. Forensic teams found no physical evidence that Noah had been physically transformed. There was no magic, no science experiment, but what they did find was chilling. Inside Daniel's workshop were journals, hundreds of pages describing a plan. He believed that by preserving Noah, freezing him in time, he could stop the world from taking him too. Psychologists later testified that Daniel suffered from a severe psychotic break combined with complicated grief disorder. But here's the part that still unsettles people to this day. Noah's body was never found. Some believe Daniel hid him. Others believe something even darker happened in that basement workshop. Daniel never confessed. He only repeated one sentence during interrogation: "I didn't lose him. I fixed him." The case divided the country. Was he a monster or a man destroyed by grief? Media outlets debated whether this was pure evil or untreated mental illness spiraling out of control. The doll, the one wearing the blue sweater, was taken into evidence. Officers reported something strange years later. They said the doll's eyes seemed different in every photograph. Of course, that could be lighting or imagination, but the story refuses to die. Today, the Harper house sits abandoned, the basement workshop sealed, and somewhere in an evidence locker, that doll remains, still wearing the blue sweater, still staring. But here's the question I want to ask you. If grief pushed someone to believe they could preserve the person they loved most, does that make them evil or just broken? And what would you do if you walked into that basement? Tell me in the comments. Make sure you subscribe. Some stories are too dark to stay buried.